with her tap shoes on, who only ever danced to I've Got Rhythm, for example, or Sing Sing Sing, who just knew what a shuffle hop was. She didn't even know like what it meant to like clap a bass rhythm, right? So whenever I start to teach, I always want them to understand two things: syncopation and bass. So important to me in tap. So we got through that and started teaching the movement phrase, and she started crying. And I looked at her and I go, "What's wrong?" And she goes, "I can't do this. You're not tapping, you're moving really quickly." And I said, "Listen," I said, "take a minute, listen to the beat, close your eyes, and find the rhythm in your feet." She like overcame this obstacle, and she looked at me and she goes, "Brandon, you just changed my life." And I said, "How did I change your life?" Because she said, "You taught me that there's something more than what I know." And that's what education is about. One of the biggest things that I challenge my demographic of dancers is to don't ask. I want you to try, do, figure out what the problems are, figure out how to problem solve with your body, and then we'll talk. And that is something that you don't find in choreographers nowadays, is people who teach, who train, who educate, and education is so important. Like I got my master's and my undergraduate in dance before I even considered moving to the West Coast to be a dancer. In my 4 years of college, my biggest struggle was the professors always getting in my face, "What's your point of view? What are you trying to say? What do you want the audience to understand?" And it was at that time I started to experiment with myself. You know, I lost weight, I changed my image, you know, and all of those things have really led me to where I am now. When I was younger, it wasn't okay to be a dancer and to be a boy. So I always use my past experiences, if it's in a musical that I'm choreographing, or if it's in a phrase that I'm trying to choreograph. My movement always dictates my past. My dream is to never stop dancing, and that's a realistic dream. The other dream would be to create this company. I'm starting now to internationally make my name known, and it's so important to me, and such a huge step in my career, because I'm quite different than other people in the industry. Like I said, that educational aspect to me sits on my shoulder. Could I have tried harder? Yeah. Could I have taken my career when I was 8 years old a little bit more seriously? Maybe. My love of dance was kind of like my escape. It wasn't a passionate thing, if you will, until I got a full scholarship for dance, and holy cow, I'm doing this professionally. My portfolio or my vocabulary movement is very broad. It's not specific. So I take all of those styles and I merge them together. A little bit of funk, a little bit of commercial, a little bit of classical. That's Brandon.
So now's the time.
Now's the time. Go get him.